SRN News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Congressman Byron Donalds has won the Republican nomination for Florida governor, and former Representative David Jolly won the Democratic nomination, setting the stage for a November contest to replace outgoing Governor Ron DeSantis. In Tuesday's primaries, State Representative Angie Nixon won the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate, defeating Alex Vindman. She will face Senator Ashley Moody, who won the Republican nomination for a special election. They are competing to finish the final 2 years of Marco Rubio's term. The primaries are defining a midterm ballot set to test President Trump's grip on his adopted state. For Congress, Tuesday's biggest fight involved longtime Democratic U.S. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who defeated former U.S. Representative Sheila Sherfilis McCormick and others in a redrawn South Florida district. Luigi Mangioni's state murder trial is postponed indefinitely amid a double jeopardy fight.
Luigi Mangioni's state murder trial in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was slated to begin September 8th, but it's now on indefinite hold as his lawyers seek to have the case thrown out on double jeopardy grounds following his guilty plea last week to federal charges. Judge Gregory Caro issuing an order canceling the state trial and giving the Manhattan DA's office until October 9th to respond. The DA had said they wanted to go forward. Meanwhile, Mangioni is scheduled to be sentenced in the federal case December 18th. Prosecutors said they would seek life in prison, though federal sentencing guidelines call for a term of 24 to 30 years. Julie Walker, New York.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 116 points, the Nasdaq dropped 355, the S&P lower by 53. This is SRN News. President Trump is giving a lot of money to Christian relief agencies. Correspondent Michael Harrington reports.
The administration is handing out $2 billion to World Vision, Samaritan's Purse, Compassion International, and other ministries that provide help around the globe when disaster strikes. Franklin Graham, who heads Samaritan's Purse, says the government cash will still make up a small portion of the ministry's annual expenses, but it is very welcome and will go into things like field hospitals in Africa's Ebola zone and airlifts to earthquake-stricken Colombia. Michael Harrington reporting.
Hate crime charges have been filed against a man who disrupted Shabbat services in Manhattan's Central Synagogue and struck 2 people last week. A police report says as synagogue security was escorting the man out, he struck a member of the congregation, damaged synagogue property, and then spit at and headbutted a member of the security team. Larry Montez of the Bronx faces 2 counts of assault. SRN News. OpenAI is launching a version of ChatGPT designed for teenagers.
The San Francisco-based company says ChatGPT for teens is tailored for youngsters 13 to 17 with stronger protections, including content restrictions around things like suicide, self-harm, and romantic or sexual chats. It also provides homework and study support designed to help students learn rather than spit out answers in school essays. The company says the idea is to guide teens toward healthy AI use in an age-appropriate environment. Rich Thomason reporting.
The U.S. and Canada are negotiating in an effort to reach a truce on tariffs. If no deal is reached, President Trump has threatened to impose 50% tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian products, including hockey sticks. More details at srnnews.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
And yet, what they're worried about? The words you use to call criminals. Because there's a certain stigma they don't want criminals to have to deal with.
Could we talk about something else?
I'm going to give you information that's going to make you have to make a decision, have to do something about what's going on in this country.
Something resembling anything.
If you want to get involved in the conversation, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Check out my classic podcast. There's so much going on the website, but do something. Get involved.
The Joe Messina Show.
We are back at it again. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved. Come on, ain't that hard, right? Get involved, get engaged. Yeah, I'm getting it. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution, And I do appreciate the time, the time that you spent with me. Okay. It's just amazing. It is amazing to me the outrage that some of us on the right have, right? And how you don't really fight for what it is you want. You don't show up, right? Seriously, I mean, give it some thought. 855 Real Joe, 855-732-5563. So you want to tell your friends, your loved ones, I bet you in some of these areas where we're losing races or we're not getting the right people in place, I'll guarantee you money. It is because we don't have, our Republicans aren't getting out there and voting the way they should. I mean, give me a different reason. Tell me something different, right? 855 Real Joe, 855-732-5563. Get engaged, get involved, and be part of the solution. You know. All right. You know, we had a lot of elections today, and you know the U.S. Senate Dem in Florida, Nixon. For Democrats now, it's not. Some of you think that we're having a full-blown election. We're not. All right. So Nixon now is in over Vindman, and we'll see how that works out. And Byron Donalds, you know, he made it in for us, for the Republicans, and the woman he's running against on the Democrat side. If she wins, we're done as a society. With everything that's gone down in Florida, the positive stuff, if she wins against him, this is a what do I want to say? A Democrat's dream as to what they profess, but their nightmare for the reality. Right? Here's a black man that has been involved, you know, he's been a military man, he's worked hard, he's made something of himself, all the stuff that they talk about, not us, but them, right? Successful, running for governor. Oh my God, you should get behind the black man. Oh, wait, he's what? Oh, he's Republican, he's conservative. Oh, never mind, forget it. Oh no, he's obviously a sick human being. It is serious. You look at this stuff and the way they talk and the things that you just say, you know they're lying. Anyway, Scott Pressler, he unearthed a video of a Minnesota elections official telling workers not to ask for an ID. But wait a minute, that doesn't happen. Yeah, we're making it up. Don't you know that? I just love this stuff. Let's face it, Minnesota doesn't hold elections. They fake elections, right? No wonder that state is surrounded by red states, and it always goes blue. I wonder how that happens. A new training video unearthed by Scott Pressler. He reveals a Minnesota election official telling workers not to ask voters for their ID. This is an election judge training video for Carver County, Minnesota. They say don't ask to see an identification card. If a voter presents identification, thank the voter, inform them that an identification card is not required if they are registered. Have the voter confirm their name and address, point to the oath, and have them review the oath, instruct the voter to sign their name. Election fraud in Minnesota is as simple as knowing someone's name, address, and signing a signature. That simple. No ID required. Okay? That election system, they're broken. They're broken people. ID is required if you're registered to vote via vouching. You are the ID. So if I go in there, I can vouch for up to 8 people telling the person they're taking the information, oh, I know Frankie here. He's a good guy. He's a citizen. Yeah, there you go. Just amazing, isn't it? They're making it so easy they're almost begging you to cheat. I mean, am I wrong here? You don't need an ID. You can have somebody make believe as to who you are. I mean, you guys, you want to have some fun with this? I mean, seriously? I would. You know what? I would go there. I would find myself a bunch of Republicans that just want to have some fun. Registered Republicans, mind you. Right? And I would go there and I would have them vouch for people who obviously looked like Republican conservatives and see where it went. See if they would actually allow it to happen. I'm sorry. I would just find that so amusing, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. 855-REAL-JOE. Forget that. Send me an email, joe@joemessina.com, joe@joemessina.com. I'm telling you, this stuff is just great. And when we come back, I will play that video of her instructing them to wave the ID online. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession. Minimum order may be required.
You've been working hard, doing the right thing and paying your taxes and putting your hard-earned money in the Medicare piggy bank all your life. And now it's time to break the piggy bank and get something back. Medicare. If you didn't know it, Medicare is health insurance for people over 65, and you paid for it with your tax dollars. Medicare plans now have more benefits than ever. That's good news, especially if you're like me and looking forward to paying as little as possible for good health insurance. Call and find out what Medicare plan is best for you. Save your time. It's valuable. We've already done the research for you, and in one quick phone call, you can learn how to get the best Medicare plan designed exactly for you. Hey, it's one of the most important decisions in your life. Let us help you through it. Here's our number. Call 65 Plus Medicare now. 800-778-8214. 800-778-8214. That's 800-778-8214. Can your IRA stand up to the next financial crisis that our top economists are saying is at our doorsteps? By allocating a percentage of your IRA into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns by putting your IRA back on the gold standard. Find out how to safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report. Protect your IRA today with one simple phone call and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. Call Genesis Gold Group, empowering faith-driven stewardship. 800-504-1123. 800-504-1123. 800-504-1123. That's 800-504-1123.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
Attention timeshare owners. Tired of the financial stress? Were you misled by the salesperson? Don't or can't use your timeshare anymore? If any of these apply to you, then you may qualify for timeshare cancellation and get the relief you need now. Timeshare Defense Attorneys is the #1 affordable fixed fee legal solution in the country, with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. That's certainly better than my grades. They even offer a 100% client satisfaction guarantee. Let one of their experienced lawyers evaluate your case and explain the process. If they take you as a client, they'll work on your case until it's resolved in your favor, guaranteed. Expect great service and a close working relationship with your lawyer, keeping you informed every step of the way, protecting your rights, interests, and even your credit. It's that simple. Even a kid like me can understand it. The consultation is free. Call today.
800-875-1853. 800-875-1853. That's 800-875-1853.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So, won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
How can you do a spoken word version of a rap song?
He found a way.
We are back, and they're afraid. Every time we go live, they're afraid. And they should be. I'm not interested in excuses. I'm not interested in any of that stuff. I want to make a difference. I want things to change. Okay? And now they're so entitled that they're doing it right in front of your face. Joe Messina, your host. You're listening to the Joe Messina Show. I do appreciate the time that you're spending with me here on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and truly being part of the conversation. So this is a, you're going to love this one, okay? This is an elected official, right, who is telling the polling people not to pay attention to IDs. I'm floored. Take a listen, maybe. You know what? With Joe, it never works the first time. You know that.
Ask them for their name and address. Do not ask a voter to look at the roster themselves to locate their name. Do not ask them to see an identification card. However, if a voter presents identification, thank the voter and inform them that an identification card is not required if they are registered. This announcement is not only for the voter in front of you, but for other voters in line who should not feel required to produce an identification card. In some circumstances, the identification card might be helpful, but make it clear that it is not required. The voter may say that they have a difficult name to spell and provide their identification to make the process easier to find their name. Or a voter might have problems speaking, and so the identification serves as their way of communicating their name and address. Once you know the name and address...
All right. Like these CDLs that are given out, the California driver's licenses, to people who cannot speak English. They can't read English. They can't write English. But somehow they got a driver's license. Oh, God. You can't get any crazier than this.
Address of the voter, and you are using a paper roster, search and find the voter's name. Check the page for any roster notations. Hide challenges on other voter records from view. Have the voter confirm their name and address, point to the oath at the top of the roster page, and have them review the oath. Instruct the voter to sign their name on the line of the roster page to affirm the voter's oath. Give them a voter receipt and direct them to the ballot judge. Now, if an electronic roster is used, search and find the voter's name, ask the voter to confirm their name and address, and have the voter review the voter's oath. Instruct the voter to sign to affirm the voter's oath. As the judge, you will retain the signed voter signature certificate, issue a ballot receipt to the voter, and direct the voter to the ballot judge. Please note that the signature may be electronic on the screen or on paper, so follow your local election official instructions.
Sometimes it is difficult to find a voter's name. Check for spelling errors or very...
I'm sorry. This is too good. All right. I mean, how many times they say it's not necessary to have an ID if they're registered to vote. So all you have to know is your name, right? You don't even have to know the last 4 digits of their social security number. You don't have to know any of that stuff. So God only knows truly who's really in front of you voting. But they're good with that. That's fine. Right? Amazing. This is all amazing to me. It should not be that hard. God bless. All right. Oh, wait, this just recently came in. I think it was earlier today. The judge, Biden judge, finally, he caved into the Supreme Court. No, he didn't. He's following the law. He lifted the block on termination of temporary protection status for Ethiopians, which he should have never put on there to begin with. The Supreme Court has already said that Trump has the right, the president has the right to do these things. They just want to slow him down around every corner. A federal judge on Tuesday caved to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, this article, right, you would think these people knew better. They didn't cave. They followed the law. They lifted the block on termination of temporary protected status for Ethiopians. The district judge, Brian Murphy, a Biden appointee, finally allowed the Trump administration's termination to go into effect. Now, in 2020, the Biden regime, they allowed over 5,000 Ethiopians to enter the U.S., right, and live here with special protection. For what reason? I mean, really? Is Ethiopia in that much of a turmoil? I'm asking. I don't know. Oh, God. Their TPS status was extended again in April 2024 and expired on February 13, 2026. Upon taking office again in January 25, President Trump immediately he revoked all the TPS designations. There wasn't any reason for them anymore. Judge Murphy previously said that President Trump violated the process by revoking the protections, right? But the Supreme Court somehow knew better. And I don't mean that in a sarcastic way. They knew. Why? Because they followed the law. So earlier this year, Judge Murphy issued a temporary restraining order, blocked the Trump administration from ending protections for Ethiopians. In June, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Trump administration is allowed to end temporary protective status for hundreds of thousands of Haitian, Syrians, Ethiopians, whoever. It was a 6-3 vote, and they ruled that temporary protective status is temporary. It's in the name, you Maroni. Last month, Judge Murphy indefinitely extended the block on the termination of temporary status. But the Supreme Court already ruled on it. They know. This is what's happening with these judges that were appointed by Obama and Biden. Is they know more than the Supreme. They think they have more power than the Supreme Court because they keep coming back against what the Supreme Court rules. Right? I mean, the Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that Judge Murphy pretty much engaged in mutiny against the Supreme Court. Right? Ridiculous. Now, last Friday, U.S. Judge Allison Burroughs, an Obama appointee, lifted her block on termination for Somalian temporary protections. Because, again, she was going against the Supreme Court. Really. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of the solution. And you can be. Not that hard. The man who predicted Trump's 2016 win, well, he says we should prepare for a midterm meltdown. You know, and again, I don't know where these people are coming from. So, we'll talk about this when we come back. Joe Messina, your host. Don't go far.
Attention homeowners. It's not if something's going to break, it's when. That's home ownership. If your dryer, your refrigerator, or your AC and heating breaks, that's an expensive call. And who do you call? Make it easy on yourself and call Choice Home Warranty. We've already done the research and have access to 25,000 technicians that can be at your home quickly. We've covered close to 2 million homes in the United States. There's a good chance your neighbors work with us. Call us right now before the next breakdown. We'll tell you everything that's covered in your home and give you the first month free with our ironclad 30-day money-back guarantee. Call now and learn how to get your free month.
800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. 800-378-2250. That's 800-378-2250.
Limitations and exclusions apply. First month free with purchase of single plan. Visit choicehomewarranty.com for more details.
Life is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. But here's one thing you can control: making sure your loved ones are protected if the unexpected happens. At easyplans.com, we make getting life insurance, well, easy. In just a few minutes, you can apply online and buy direct. No awkward phone calls, no confusing jargon, and no agent will contact you unless you request help. Just clear, affordable coverage, designed to fit your life and your budget. Fast approval, flexible plans, and unlike other online insurance sites, Easy Plans won't sell your information to others. So no endless phone calls and text messages. Whether you're just starting a family, buying a home, or thinking ahead, easyplans.com has you covered. easyplans.com. We make buying life insurance, well, easy.
On double jeopardy grounds following his guilty plea last week to federal charges, Judge Gregory Caro issuing an order canceling the state trial and giving the Manhattan DA's office until October 9th to respond. The DA had said they wanted to go forward. Meanwhile, Mangione is scheduled to be sentenced in the federal case December 18th. Prosecutors said they would seek life in prison, though federal sentencing guidelines call for a term of 24 to 30 years. Julie Walker, New York.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 116 points, the Nasdaq dropped 355, the S&P lower by 53. This is SRN News. President Trump is giving a lot of money to Christian relief agencies. Correspondent Michael Harrington reports.
The administration is handing out $2 billion to World Vision, Samaritan's Purse, Compassion International, and other ministries that provide help around the globe when disaster strikes. Franklin Graham, who heads Samaritan's Purse, says the government cash will still make up a small portion of the ministry's annual expenses, but it is very welcome and will go into things like field hospitals in Africa's Ebola zone and airlifts to earthquake-stricken Colombia. Michael Harrington reporting.
Hate crime charges have been filed against a man who disrupted Shabbat services in Manhattan's Central Synagogue and struck 2 people last week. A police report says as synagogue security was escorting the man out, he struck a member of the congregation, damaged synagogue property, and then spit at and headbutted a member of the security team. Larry Montez of the Bronx faces 2 counts of assault. SRN News. OpenAI is launching a version of
25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL25 for 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code PHIL25.
And that's why yellow makes me sad, I think.
That's interesting. You know what makes me sad?
You do! Maybe we should chug on over to Mamby-Pamby land, where maybe we can find some self-confidence for you, you jackwagon!
We're at it again. I'm always at it. Joe Messina, your host. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE. 855-732-5563. Get involved. Get engaged. Be part of the solution. Really, seriously, be part of the solution. And I do appreciate the time that you're spending with us here on the air. In that chat room, texting and tweeting and truly being, just being part of the conversation, right? And you can do it. Not that hard. So, again, constantly, the Democrats constantly trying to get away with, trying to hide something. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep power any way they can, right? So right now, there's 20 blue states that are suing the Trump administration because they want information on truck drivers. So when you look at this, they're trying to shield over 17 million CDL records and protect illegal alien truck drivers who are endangering American lives. This isn't one or two. No, this has been happening more and more and more. And even when they get pulled over for a speeding ticket or anything along those lines, they can't even answer the cop in English. They can't speak English. They can't read English. They can't read the ticket they're supposed to sign to say they're coming back to go to court. How is that okay? Right? Seriously. So it's a coalition of 20 states. They've come together, all blue. In the District of Columbia, they filed lawsuits against Trump administration in a desperate bid to block Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and the Department of Homeland Security from accessing the National Commercial Driver's License Information System. Now, all these systems should be tied together to begin with, because what happens if a Border Patrol agent or something like that pulls someone over on the freeway and wants to check their ID? They can't do it, right? Now, there's only one reason to do this, is to protect illegal aliens. There's no other reason not to allow the feds to have this information. Right? The administration's been launching an aggressive crackdown on unqualified illegal licensed commercial drivers. Many of them can't even speak English. Basic English. I don't have to have conversational, but reading road signs, especially changing ones that don't look familiar. Last week, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration demanded that the American Association of Motor Vehicle Administrators, which operates the CDLIS database, on behalf of all the states, these people need to turn over 5 years of records for every commercial driver by August 17th or face termination of more than $10 million in federal contracts. Good. Really good. This is how nuts it's getting. And Tom Homan, he wants these guys arrested. Really that simple. Right? He demanded immediate purge of 4 non-English speaking from the CDL roads after 4. I'm sorry. He demanded an immediate purge of non-English speaking speakers from the CDL roads after 4 illegal alien drivers with the last name Singh, S-I-N-G-H, caused recent deadly semi-truck crashes. And if you see them on camera while it's happening, the truck camera, you sit there and you wonder to yourself, they don't even look like they're upset about it. Department of Homeland Security also issued a subpoena seeking the same data. The states including California, New York, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, well, I go through a whole list of them. You could know. They're claiming the demand violates privacy laws and exceeds federal authority. Right. Privacy laws, you're giving the information to a federal organization to begin with. Anybody home? Federal judge already issued a temporary administrative stay blocking the transfer while the case is pending. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy wasted no time. He condemned the lawsuit. Think about it. There's only one reason to do this, to protect illegals. That's the only reason. Every administration since 1988 has had access to this basic database. So let's be clear. It's a ridiculous lawsuit, and it's only aimed at Donald Trump. They want to make it harder for any department to enforce the rules, to enforce the laws. The laws that they keep saying no one is above. Well, except if they want you to have a driver's license. Right? They would not care about keeping you and my family safe, but President Trump and I do. We're going to fight this lawsuit tooth and nail. There's no reason why you can't be safe on the streets. You can't know that that person driving that tractor trailer, that big truck, can read, write English, understand English, and not take out your family because they can't read signs. On April 2025, to restore integrity to the trucking sector, President Trump issued an order, and the administration has already revoked more than 30,000 illegally issued commercial driver's licenses. They removed 10,000 fraudulent training providers and taken over 26,000 non-English proficient operators out of service. Wow. Can you imagine? The one that makes me nuts is the 10,000 fraudulent training providers. That means that these guys certified that these people, these truck drivers, passed the training, passed the test, took it with them, and they got paid for it. Those schools get paid for it. They're all over the place. Look them up. The push for full database access is intended to identify improperly licensed drivers who've been involved in fatal crashes. States issuing licenses, illegal aliens, without proper verification, they've created a massive problem. But they don't care. They want them to come over the border, unvaxxed, unidentified, whatever. That's okay for them. Now, the Department of Justice is going to deploy a record amount of 1,000 federal monitors to polling places nationwide for the midterms. And I am sure the left is losing their ever-loving mind over it. The Trump Justice Department is preparing to flood polling places across America with 1,000 federal monitors for the November midterms. Now, the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, Harmeet Dillon, she announced that this week. And what the funny thing about it was, Obama did it. That was okay. Civil Rights Division has long sent monitors to ensure compliance with federal voting laws, but the scale under the President Trump's second term marks a sharp escalation. We just did it the primary. We'll do it again to the tune of approximately 1,000 election monitors in the November election. This is something that DOJ does, Dillon said during a Monday interview. Right? The monitors will observe whether elections are conducted fairly, looking at language access to issues, disability access barriers, and places where there might be voter fraud issues. They will not intervene in Election Day, but can support follow-up investigations that they operate under the same rules as other election monitors under state law. They hit the 1,000 mark. The department's recruiting volunteers from DOJ employees, U.S. Attorney's Office nationwide. Full list of locations is expected. Now, on Tuesday, the DOJ already had monitors on the ground in primaries in Miami-Dade County, in Florida, that is, and Lorain County in Wyoming. The department has already deployed more than 75 monitors across 5 states and over 200 polling locations. Primary reasoning, according to the press, right, is to keep people from voting. No, keep illegals from voting, yes. Harmeet Dillon has also said the department will consider jurisdictions with suspected fraud problems or officials who fail to maintain accurate voter rolls. The final list of locations for November deployment has not yet been released. Good. Keep them guessing. Now, it was reported on July 8th that Dillon announced that the DOJ would send monitors to 15 jurisdictions. Arizona, Massachusetts, Michigan, a whole bunch of them. She told Americans to expect an even larger program for the general election. Of course. Now, one publication revealed plans to monitor voting in Detroit, Lansing, and East Lansing, Michigan. Good luck with them keeping them out there. But those people are so, from what I've seen, they're so arrogant and in your face. Right? Just amazing. And they get away with it. Joe at joemessina.com. Joe at joemessina.com. Be back in a little bit. People, don't go far. A lot more coming up on the Joe Messina Show.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special and enter promo code USA or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code USA.
Take as little as 3 minutes to see if you could save on motorcycle insurance.
They don't have a right to, what's the word I'm looking for here? They don't have a right to simply decide they don't like something. And all of a sudden, religion means something to them. What the heck? I mean, is it just me? Anybody else? 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Get involved, get engaged, be part of. And I do appreciate the time you're spending with me. On the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, being part of the conversation. All right, where was I? Oh, this is a good one too. Can I get this one out? Yeah, I can do this one. A former Anoka County, Minnesota prosecutor has been charged in a sprawling sex trafficking ring. She used shell companies to hide profits while women were threatened, assaulted, exploited for years. She should go to jail for years. Anyway, former assistant attorney, she spent years on a public payroll, specializing in family and civil law, which is good, right? She's been charged with 28 felony counts. Yeah, you heard me, 28, right? I mean, seriously. She allegedly helped run a sophisticated sex trafficking operation program that preyed on women across the Twin Cities. Andrea Leigh Sampson, she's 35 years old. She was arrested Friday and faced 13 counts of promoting prostitution of an individual and 13 counts of receiving profits from prostitution of these people that were sold. God. Now, prosecutors say that she secured locations for commercial sex acts, including properties that she owned. They were used to photograph victims online for ads, to host transactions themselves, while creating and maintaining these shell companies to funnel all this money through. Right? To conceal all this dirty money. She's charged alongside 3 others, Frank Everett Louise, 57, a chaplain of Chaplin, described by victims as the pimp, the ringleader. I can't even try to pronounce the next name. I'm not even going to try, really. Another one, 30, of Egan, called the house mom, and Catherine Mitchell Thomas, 36, who owned and operated the Minnesota Erotica Personals. God, just amazing. According to criminal complaint, the operation ran for years with activity documented from at least 2020 to 2021, early 2026 across Minneapolis, Bloomington. I mean, it just went on and on and on. Many were required to hand over portions of their earnings, often $100 per customer, left in envelopes. Right? They pay fees for ad postings and bumps and submitted to strict control. I mean, think about this. This was an attorney for the county. Right? They were monitored by the cameras. They told police that they worked for an organization that managed, that management was always watching, provided alcohol and drugs, and suspected to sexual assaults, including by Reeves himself. Just amazing. And again, don't tell me that nobody knew that was going on, because I wouldn't buy that for a minute. They knew what was happening. They knew what was happening, and they knew some of the people that were grooming these girls. Right? Teaching them, grooming them, showing them how much money they can make for something that they were. Now these are not my words; these are theirs. Basically, they were going to give up anyway. Isn't that amazing? Well, you're going to have sex with people anyway. You might as well get paid for it. God bless. And we're okay with this. And I say that because I don't see people going in jail in big numbers. Right? 855-REAL-JOE. Send me an email, joe@joemessina.com. Oh, I got a lot of good stuff coming up in the next hour. We're going to talk about Fauci's former advisor, David Morans. He's pleading guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States. Wow. CARE urges officials to arrest James O'Keefe and Cam Higbee for using fake Muslim identities. Yes, I guess that's a constitutional, against the Constitution too. And Governor Abbott's response to Minnesota AG Keith Ellison, his lawsuit demands to extradite an ICE agent. Not going to happen. Joe Messina, your host. God bless. Hang out. We'll be back in a little bit.